Welcome back, everyone. We rarely start an interview this way, but I'm going to start with a couple of statistics. Every 40 seconds in this country, someone suffers a stroke. Every 4 minutes, someone dies. Well, locally in our community, there's an organization called Steps for Stroke that helps survivors of strokes cope with the aftermath of having a stroke and all of the things that they face afterward. I really did find this pretty fascinating. Joining me today are two women who are involved with Steps for Stroke. I'll start. Kim DeGraw is the treasurer, secretary-treasurer. You control the whole deal, huh?
Yeah, the CFO, all the money.
And the executive director, Michelle Randall. So both of you, welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
really
so
nice
much.
to have you
Thanks
here.
for having us.
Very different kind of organization here. I'm going to start with you, Michelle. Steps for Stroke. Give us the background on this.
In 2011, I had a stroke, and
Right.
I did not see anybody my age 6 months out, 1 year out. I wanted some hope. So at that point in time, I decided I would be a face of stroke, and I would help others. And coming back to my community of Glens Falls, I joined forces with Kim DeGraw and others, and we formed Steps for Stroke to help others on their stroke recovery.
Now, before we went on air, we had a really interesting conversation about the things that people who suffer from strokes face afterward. In your own experience, what happened?
When I had the stroke?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then
I was getting
afterward?
ready for work one morning and got so dizzy I couldn't even move. I went down. And that was it. You know.
And then, thankfully, you were caught in time
Correct.
and survived it. Then the aftermath. What kind of things did you face after the stroke?
Well, I had balance issues, so I had to learn to walk again because I didn't have any balance. So
Yes.
once I relearned my balance, and the walking came back a little bit, and my whole left side is still numb and all that. And fatigue. Fatigue is a huge side effect of stroke.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Michelle,
huge.
what about yourself? What kind of aftermath for you?
I have what's called hemiparesis of my left side and apraxia, which means I can use my left side, I can't feel my left side, but I can't process with my brain. So, for an example, if somebody tries to shake my hand, I can't do it. I used to work in the dental field. I can't do that anymore.
Yes,
So-
right. Well, you know what? We always think to ourselves, oh, okay, so I suffered from a disease. I got some antibiotics. I'm fine now, and off you go. If you're a stroke survivor, there's just as much to deal with in the months and years afterward than actually suffering from the stroke itself,
Absolutely.
right?
It is.
So you started this organization to raise awareness, right? Some educational aspects. This is all for stroke survivors. The word I can't pronounce, which you
Support and advocacy.
advocacy. I can never pronounce that word.
Yes.
In each one of those categories, how does it work? Now, I know you partner with Glens Falls Hospital and even Walgreens, I understand,
Yes,
right?
we do.
Okay, so with Glens Falls Hospital, when they have a stroke patient, you jump in.
Yes. When Glens Falls Hospital has a stroke patient, I am a volunteer and I am the neuro patient care liaison for Glens Falls Hospital.
Okay.
So I will visit the patient and the family and try to help them through the early days of stroke recovery and the fears that they have.
Right.
And so we are there to help support them then. We bring them into our stroke support group, and then we step by step all along the way, we're there to help them get back into the community, the rehabilitation that they need,
Right.
and most cases, Social Security disability that none of us want to ever fill out that paperwork, but unfortunately we do have to
Yes.
as a result of a stroke.
Sure. This is an organization that really needs support and really needs your help. They're the second annual, right? You did
Correct.
this last
Yes.
year, I recall.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's called Steps for Stroke, and it's Sunday, May 31st,
At 11 a.m.
11 a.m., right. It's City Park in Glens Falls, which is next to Crandall Library, but not Crandall Park,
Yes,
which I always
it's
confuse.
yeah.
I live right
Downtown.
there and I confuse it all
Yeah.
the time. But right downtown where the bandstand is, right
Yes,
next to
downtown
Crandall
Glens
Library.
Falls.
Right.
And this is a walk for the whole family. You can be a stroke survivor,
Right.
you can be a member of a family, or a
Caregiver.
member of your family who suffered from a stroke. You could just be a concerned citizen who wants to help this organization.
Right.
So what's the day like? How's it roll out?
Oh, and we do walk and roll.
I
Yeah.
bet you do.
We do. The day starts out with telling everyone a little bit about our organization, and we have Glens Falls Hospital there on board with us helping. We have blood pressure clinics there,
Great.
informational booths. We have a wide array of, we have raffles too to make some fun, some things for kids to do.
Great. And the walk.
And the walk.
And they told me something very, very telling, that, you know, you're a survivor of a stroke and maybe you get the ability to have 80% of your mobility back or something. But someone actually did the walk last year in a hospital bed.
Yes,
Correct.
they did.
Yep.
So I think you get the picture here. The idea is community comes out. This is all to benefit stroke survivors, building awareness for it, their educational thing, their support mechanisms. And it's free to go for the walk, but let's face it, a donation
Donation.
is really the way to go here, right?
Right.
Yes, donation is much appreciated. It is an event that we focus on the survivors' abilities, not disabilities. So you'll see
Right.
people of all levels of deficits participating in the
Yeah,
event.
sure. I've got it. So it's Sunday, May 31st. Kicks off, when did you say, noon?
11
11
a.m.
11 a.m. 11 a.m. early. 11 on Sunday, that is.
Yeah.
11 a.m. Sunday at the City Park, which is next to Crandall Library. Come on down, show your support. It's a short walk. It's down Glen, I think around Ridge, and then back up again, right?
Yes, it is.
that
Yep.
So, and there'll be a bunch of people there. Make a donation. And I think you did mention there's a shirt involved too. You,
Yes.
You do? Okay.
$25 gets you a T-shirt.
Oh, okay. This is and this organization's all volunteer. They're available to anyone, any family member who has a loved one who suffered a stroke year round. So it isn't
That's
just come and go. And this
Correct.
is their one fundraiser.
Yes, it
So okay, so you know your mission. We all know our mission here. It's wonderful to talk to you as stroke survivors, and just really want to compliment you on the efforts you're making here
Thank
to
you.
help others.
Yes,
You've
we're-
been through it.
Thank
you know
you.
what it
We
is
have.
about. You know what it takes,
Yep.
and you're there to offer a hand.
We're
Absolutely.
survivors helping survivors, and that's what it's
Yes.
all about.
I got you. Steps for stroke.
Yes.
Right.
Great.
Good. Okay. Thank you very much
Thanks.
for coming in.
Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
having us.
Sure. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.